I am in a serious Cartoon Network mood at the minute.
It's time for Animaniacs.
If we're talking about classic Cartoon Network, one show we can never overlook is Animaniacs. In the early to mid-90s, this was probably the most over-the-top cartoon on the network, rivaling Tiny Toon Adventures and probably Freakazoid. I've never really watched Freakazoid, and Tiny Toon Adventures aired in the same time period as its younger sibling, but I never really got into it that much. That being said, I don't remember that much when it comes to Animaniacs in the early to mid-90s. It's one of the funniest cartoons to ever air, and I remember very little. I have memories of Flying Rhino Junior High and fucking Tabaluga, but no Animaniacs. My real Animaniacs experience began in 2004 when it began airing on Boomerang.
Animaniacs, every day at 4 p.m. on Boomerang.
As you'd expect, I clicked on immediately. Well, almost immediately. I missed the first episode, but I caught the second one with Yakko's World and Cookies for Einstein. We had Sky Plus at this point, so I was easily able to record it in my school-related absence. At this point, I'd like to make a quick correction. Again. In episode 56, Changes Part 3, or the early years, I mentioned a 2005 holiday to New York. That date is actually incorrect. We actually went there in 2007. I can confirm this because the nearby theatre was showing Evan Almighty. Everything else is correct in that video. Why do I bring up New York? Well, on the second or third day, my mother bought these DVDs, Animaniacs Volumes 1, 2 and 3. 75 episodes of the series, giving me at least 27 continuous hours of cartoon entertainment. Needless to say, I haven't watched that much of the show in my entire life before or after. But those DVDs aren't what I'm here to talk thoroughly about. We're looking at this video picked up at a school jumble sale, Animaniacs Volume 2. I have more memories of this than I do from watching it on Cartoon Network. Well, not this copy specifically, this one was from eBay, but details. Let's give it a go. This video from 1995 is a highlights package from Animaniacs, featuring one episode for every major character group. Drive Insane for the Warner Brothers, Cat on a Hot Steel Beam from Buttons and Mindy. With 3 you get Egg Roll for the Good Feathers, Jockey for Position for Pinky and the Brain, and Woodstock Slappy for Slappy and Skippy.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. I put the top down on your car.
But I don't have a convertible!
I haven't watched the video properly in over 10 years, but after watching Drive Insane, I have to call this video one of the funniest in my collection. The Warners are my favourite characters in the entire series, and they never fail to entertain me. I don't know why Buttons bothers to care for Mindy. She gives him nothing but trouble. Although in his defence, her parents are awfully neglectful. After all, they left the fucking gate unsecure. Now that I've seen the movie Goodfellas, I'm surprised the creators decided to make a kid-friendly parody. That would be like making a parody of Scarface. And of course, there's Pinky and the Brain, the only segment to earn a spin-off. They're great and all, but I would rather have seen Slappy get the spin-off. She's easily my second favourite character in the series after the Warners. I feel like Slappy is the Judge Judy of cartoon characters. She's an old woman with a successful career that takes no bullshit from anyone. In conclusion, how do I rate this? Well, I do think the video is a bit on the short side. It doesn't make it to the 45-minute mark. I'd also argue that some of the shorts aren't the most memorable for each of the characters. I'd rather have Win Big for Pinky and the Brain. And while I will admit Woodstock Slappy is probably the most iconic Slappy cartoon out there, I'd rather see Slappy Goes Walnuts. That never gets old.
Old gag, new twist.
That being said, I had a hell of a time revisiting this. I haven't laughed this much at Animaniacs in a long time. Even with its short runtime and not having the most memorable episode picks, I don't think I can give this thing anything less than a 5 out of 5. It is that good. If you're getting into Animaniacs and don't have the DVDs, and for some reason have a perfectly functional VCR available, this video is probably the best place to start. Top marks. But now we're probably going to bring it down a bit. It's time to return to Thomas and Friends. 3 more to go. Who brings an entire watermelon to a drive-in theatre?